I don't care because it truly doesn't get to me. Like watching you talk to all your little trolls, I'm like, why?
Oh, well, that's fun. Ego is this other thing. The way I look at it is like if you get satisfaction knowing that people are looking at you and they're unhappy because you have things they don't, that's ego. You know, like that.
That's part of it. Also thinking that you're more important than other people, that your opinion matters more than other people's opinions.
Oh, then my ego's fucking huge then.
You do. You do have a big ego.
I mean,
like you do. It's gotten better. You become more self-aware. But to say that you don't have an ego anymore, I think is a stretch.
Okay, well,
and that's fine.
So then I don't have that side of it then anymore at all. There's not one part of me that wants to make other people feel bad based on success I've had or situations I'm in, like nothing. That does not exist for me at all.
That piece stems from insecurity, not necessarily ego.
I agree.
Like it's an insecurity thing.
That's exactly what my point is like that I think that part of the ego comes from insecurity. You think that the ego is tied to insecurity.
Yes. And that could also be needing to like have your answers be more important, your opinions be more important. That could all be tied to the same thing. So maybe Yes.
Take it from a person who really thinks that their opinions are really like, it's not about that. It's like, I really think I'm right. And it's like, I mean, like, I really think I'm right.
Maybe
so
that's an empathy thing.
It's possible. But I mean, listen, I'm always up to have my opinion changed by new valid information. What you're talking about is I am not good at confrontation. Like if someone like confronts me directly, then I'm like, what the fuck? Like that's my default is like, you know, I'll meet confrontational energy with the exact same thing, or I'll overreact.
You?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've gotten much better about that though.
Yeah.
Through lots of practice. How do you like you're pretty good at that though. People fuck with you online and you don't really care.
I don't care because it truly doesn't get to me. Like watching you talk to all your little trolls, I'm like, why?
Oh, well, that's fun.
But sometimes you get so like it like actually gets to you. It does. And that's why they continue to do it, because it's so easy to push your buttons.
I know.
Like I genuinely don't care.
Yeah.
Like if it's because I do believe it's an empathy thing, because the part of I'm very, very, very empathetic. And that part of me thinks, how sad. And I truly believe this. Like, I know you say it like, oh, you're little blah, blah, blah sitting behind the keyboard. You've got a horrible life and whatever. That's probably true for most of these people. And the empathetic part of me feels sorry for them. Like, I genuinely feel sorry for them. How shitty must their life be that they really have nothing better to do than to get on a social media platform of some kind and say mean things about someone in a public forum. Like that's really, really sad. It's really, really sad.
Yeah.
And so that's why it doesn't bother me, because who was it? Rachel Hollis, I think, said it. Other people's opinions about me are none of my business, because whatever other people's opinions about you are have so much more to do with them than it actually does to do with you, that it's really not your business what other people think about you. It doesn't impact you at all.
That is very insightful. It's one of those things that I know.
It's harder to practice.
That part of like, I mean, listen, dude. Look at me. Do I look like the kind of guy that handles people being like, fuck you very well? No, not at all. But what you said is 100% correct. And yeah,
they're just not worth my time. I mean, granted, I will go back and forth with them for an engagement boost one time, but never because actually in my soul and I'm like, I gotta get them, I gotta shut them up. Like, they're not worth my time. There's that part of me too. I have the empathy for them. I feel sorry for them. And then I also think if I spend time responding and engaging with this, they're bringing me down to a level that I don't belong at. And I'm not willing to sacrifice myself to go there.
It is helpful though. Just in fair, I mean, you're making incredible points, and I admire your approach, and I have witnessed it myself, so I can tell. I mean, like, I know that's
attest
true.
to its truthfulness.
Yeah. But you are a girl. Actually, I mean, because people say mean shit about girls
all the time,
bodies and stuff. Which
all
I mean,
the time.
I would hope that you know that is like, it's like,
Again,
Jesse on Fire. You are not good at speaking on camera. I'd be like, oh yeah. No,
I'm confident in my own self. I don't.
Exactly. Well, I would imagine it's pretty easy because you look like you do, and then you also live with me, where I tell you you're the most beautiful creature that's ever been born.
Ladies, marry a guy that tells you that you're beautiful every 10 minutes.
I don't know if I genuinely don't think that. I mean, I must have some kind of bias, but like I mean,
hormones.
Yeah, I know.
Pheromones.
But still, like, I just objectively look, and I'm like, that girl's a dime. Like, I'll look, I'm like, that is one of the sexiest girls ever. Nope. I've just never seen a girl I thought was, but like, never.
Good thing you married me.
I know. Doesn't even make any sense. You're hotter now than you were when you were 22, and I thought you were the hottest thing I'd ever seen then. It's very bizarre.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. You always told me I was going to be better looking when I was older.
You are.
You're like, you're like okay now, but like I have a feeling
when you're like 40, ooh.
And that has nothing to do with my daddy issues at all.
Nothing to do with that little box that I have tucked away.
I'm going to go ahead and blindfold myself and imagine that you're 50.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love that for me.
No, yeah, that makes perfect sense. So, and like, when I really can put myself in that position, I mean, there's a guy, I am now nearly certain that this was one person who
had all those accounts,
at least a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I mean, like a lot of them,
mm-hmm.
You know, he's running literally probably like 8 to 15 accounts, you know, and like going on and like making it seem like there's like this overwhelming amount of and the reason I know is because he put a comment on YouTube and then copied and pasted it and then commented on Instagram, and I got the notifications back to back.
Right.
So it was exactly the same comment.
Two different
completely different
accounts
profiles
or whatever. Yeah.
And then so I responded to it because that was the one that was like, in all of your videos you say blah blah blah, and so I hit, you know, perfect setup.
All of your accounts.
I was like, no. I was like, oh, you watch all my videos? That's cute.
Oh yeah.
Groupie. And then I put that on my story because I was like, fucking walked into that one. And from there, the next like 3 days, it was like someone had like triggered a fucking avalanche of these accounts all being like, click, so I unsubscribed because you're clickbait. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I thought that there must be some Discord group where
like a Reddit thread or
some kind of thing. Yeah. I searched, wasn't nothing. And then I started looking and being like, oh, dude, this is the same person. And I would go, and each one of their profiles had watched 50 to 70 comments. And
again,
so I mean, I'm saying like there are giveaways that it's the same person. I'm like,
sure.
Jesus, dude. And that like
nothing
that's
better to do. It's
that's
sad.
Weird.
You think?
Like that is so weird.
It is weird and it's sad.
What would do you think a person like that has convinced himself that they genuinely like they really hate me, or they're just bored?
Both. They're actually just bored.
Who the hell could watch that much of my content and hate me?
I'm sure.
I mean, Jesus, I'm the most likable person ever. No ego.
It's like Georgia. I'm the best person ever.
She's just confident, dude.
All the time. I'm like, I love your confidence, babe.
But if Georgia got to skip the line and there were a bunch of kids that were cold and waiting to go in, would she feel good and she's all sit out in the cold, bitches? Or would she be like, no, I want them to come in too?
She would want them to come in too.
Exactly.
Choose
confidence,
a good heart.
not ego.
Yeah.